All right, welcome to another episode of the MMA Fight Game Podcast. You may recognize this athlete to my left as he has been on the podcast before. He is a rising amateur bantamweight athlete. Mason Lewis, currently 5-1, has a massive fight this weekend at the Attica Takedown 2 for both the ISKA and Full Contact Promotions 145-pound featherweight title against another prospect, uber prospect, should I say, who's kind of taking the same path as he has over the last 2 years in Kaiden Ellis. It's two local fighters who are straight up dogs. Cannot wait for this fight, as well as he trains out of Brojo MMA. And if you watch Dana White, if you don't know, you should know this gym's name. This gym is producing some athletes that you guys will know in the very near future. Names like Austin Rich Creek, Hayden Truax, Aaron Kelchner, who, by the way, is also fighting on this card on 10 days' notice, took a very dangerous fight against a dynamic striker in Kevin Hickson from Vicious Elite, as well as Zach Randall's also doing a kickboxing bout. Mason, I truly appreciate the time. Few days out from you getting ready to eat. How are you?
I'm doing phenomenal. I don't think I could be doing better. Genuinely, headspace, mentally, physically, all of the pieces are falling into place for me. So
I love it. And the new nickname on the internet, which we'll touch base on in a little bit, is the Tickler. I forgot to do that at the intro. So Mason the Tickler Lewis, Danny will be announcing you like that on Saturday night as well. Because if you look at all the comments on your viral post, it's all,
yeah,
oh, it's a tickler. So,
yeah.
but let's start here first. What is in the water at Brojo MMA?
It's a lot of good fighters. A lot of the guys that you're just now seeing are guys that have been training for years. Just a close knit group of guys, and there's just so many good strikers. There's so many good grapplers. There's so many good straight wrestlers that come in and out of our gym. I've brought in some guys from Cornell a few times. We've brought in some very good pros, really good strikers. I mean, we have pros at our gym. Our Coach Zach Burhans, he does a great job at psychoanalyzing all of our movements, studying our fight patterns, studying guys that we go against, and he hyperfixates on that. So all of the pieces just get put together. And it's mostly because of our coach. He has built all of us into the fighters that we are. So it's Coach Zach Burhans.
Yeah, I mean, if people aren't following this Northeast, East Coast MMA scene, I think it's the East Coast is finally starting to catch up with what's known in Vegas, in California, in Arizona. I mean, you got Vinny Iannuzzo's camp with Ultimate Athletics. You got obviously another local gym in Synthesis Mixed Martial Arts. You got Brojo MMA. I know I'm missing some as well. I mean, no disrespect, but the talent just in general. And if you look at the Attica Takedown 2 card from top to bottom, is filthy. Let's be
Yeah,
honest.
all 100%. You got a lot of killers on that card who are going to be pros eventually and, down the road and are going to be making their own careers for themselves. It's a great card.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, the Attica Takedown 2 takes place August 17th at the Attica Veterans Memorial Park, starting at 3:30. Definitely the future stars of tomorrow. So let's get into the fight. Obviously, you had a fight booked back in June there against the number 4 ranked athlete. Some things happened. He fell out, but then we were talking about getting Kaiden Ellis and you matched up because obviously you can almost look at it. You might have 2 more fights. You got a fight rumored close to being home that I've heard through the grapevine, and then maybe 1 more fight before the end of the year for you. And then are you looking to go pro in 2025?
Um, it's it's so it changes every day. I don't even know what I want for myself yet. I love taking amateur fights and taking risks, and Coach Burhans calls it data collecting. We're collecting data every fight, about our fight styles and what we need to perform better on, what we need to hold back on, and mainly just lifestyle choices as well. I think I probably make all of the right lifestyle choices
Yep.
in and outside of my fight camps. So I don't think I'm doing anything wrong there, but I really don't think I'm doing anything wrong in general. I get better every single day. Every single day I get better at something. And it's almost unfair at the rate that I progress because you guys, I mean, I don't show it too much in my fight, but I have so many talents that I can perform. And it's just when do I want to pull it out? I like to think of myself as a high performance athlete, and I in fights I can pick and choose what I want to do. Everything that I'm doing in these fights is because I've chosen to do that. I can think during my fights, and most people can't do that. It's just muscle memory and just fight experience. But I'm thinking during these fights. I'm talking to people during these fights. I'm talking to my opponents. I just don't believe that anyone else is doing what I'm doing. So
Yeah, I'm gonna jump into this one spot. So, you mentioned you're thinking during your fights, you're talking to your opponents, you're doing everything in the fights. You also had a very viral moment, like tens of millions of people saw you in your last fight at the Tim Hortons Iceplex tickle Tim Fargo's foot when you were in not a very tight inverted triangle. Like, this is probably your first public comments on this. Talk to me about that moment and like what was going through your head. Did you think that was going to go viral?
no, I I kind of I pride myself. I think if anyone was to compliment me on one thing in my life that could actually like make me blush or make me smile, it's that like I'm a funny guy. Being told I'm a funny guy is probably the best compliment I can get. You could tell me I'm a great fighter, I'm a great person, I'm a lover, I'm a good human being, all you want, but you tell me I'm a funny guy and like I'm your best friend. But so like I just pride myself on, and another thing is that I genuinely like making people smile, making people laugh. So even in fights, it like there were a few moments where I was making Tim Fargo laugh and smile a little bit, and it was just like it rewarded me. I don't know. I wasn't doing it to be a d bag or anything like that. It was just like we were there. We were ear to ear. Why not share a little intimate moment? But yeah, I don't think about those things during the fight as much as like what I'm trying to accomplish. I just it in the moment, things come out of my mouth, and whether they're funny or not is up to me. But yeah, so I mean, yeah, it happened. I'm not proud of it by any means, but yeah, kind of embarrassing because like if I were to go viral for some stuff, it'd probably be some cool things, like a rolling thunder kick. That'd be cool to go viral for, not tickling someone's foot and sniffing a guy's crotch. But I mean,
Were you in a bad position with that inverted triangle when you fought Tim Fargo and you tickled his foot?
no. So I I go high crotch and I go to lift and I put myself in those inverted triangle positions intentionally sometimes. In the Aaron Klein fight, I was trying to get a knee bar out of it. It's kind of like baiting them into those positions because let's be real, like not many people are getting an inverted triangle on me in general. I have a very thick neck. It's pretty hard to choke me out. People have tried. Not many people have succeeded. Just all those years wrestling, I, I'm just very stout in that position. I don't think that choke's gonna ever happen to me. I can put myself there all day. I was just kind of trying to bait the knee bar a little bit, but obviously didn't work out. We kind of just got stuck. So I was like, screw it, just tickle a foot. But
Did he react to it? Because I couldn't see his reaction to it.
yeah, he was giggling.
Was he? Now, when that video went viral, I mean, I'm talking tens of millions of views and comments, like from all these pages, because I get tagged in them all.
Yeah.
What do your DMs look like?
Yo, a lot of like foreign people are messaging me, like calling me the tickle monster and stuff. It's a little bit weird, but it's whatever.
I love it.
Yeah, I just, kind of read it, laugh. I'll respond to some of the comments. People like will ask if it's illegal. And I was like, clearly not. I did it, got away with it. If it is illegal, sorry, I won't do it again. But
I don't know if
so
it is illegal, to be
I
honest
don't
with
think
you.
it is. I think it's stopped for it. But then again, I don't think many people are tickling guys' feet. But
Yeah, you and Kevin Holland are the only ones, but I think you did it more pronounced, and I think you might have got a few more views. But at your level and what you're trying to get to, any publicity, good or bad, is good publicity. You know what I mean?
yeah, 100%.
So now, do you look at this fight against Kaiden Ellis? Because it sounds like you're not sure, what is next for you. Do you see this as kind of like a passing of the torch kind of fight? Win or lose, you know, Kaiden's going to be that next guy around here to get to that next level because he's on an ascent that's crazy. That's why I'm so intrigued by this matchup. Two of the guys that I thoroughly enjoy watching compete because you guys are both straight up dogs. And do you see this as kind of like a passing of the torch?
You know, I hope so. I look at Caden, I've been very adamant about this towards like other people. I enjoy watching him fight too. I
I do too.
he's a dog. I give him respect. I don't necessarily know if I were, an 18-year-old kid, if I wasn't doing this at 18. He's about to be in his first year of college, and he's going to chase greatness. This is what people remember for, the rest of their lives. Yeah, you can win fights, but it's, in his position, he's taking on, one of the top-notch guys in the area. And, I know he believes in himself. I don't think for a second that he thinks he's going to go out and lose. He wouldn't be taking this fight if he didn't. But yeah, I have all the respect in the world for him. I know he's a good fighter. He doesn't lay down. That's one every single fight I've watched. He's a go-getter. So I don't expect this fight to be easy. I wasn't going into this camp thinking, oh, this is an easy win. No, not at all. A lot of people have come to me and been like, we were surprised this fight was even made. Like, you're gonna smash this guy, you're gonna run right through him. But like, I don't let that get to me. Um, I believe I can beat anyone on any given day. I believe, I am at a very good level in my life to beat anyone. And but I don't overlook Caden Ellis one bit. I don't that would be disrespectful. That would be, I don't overlook anyone. I've lost before. I've overlooked people before, and it hasn't gone in my favor. So I won't make that mistake again. I know he's lethal from all areas.
Yeah, Caden actually comes from another good gym that I didn't mention at the Open with Redemption MMA, Justin Walker and his
Yep.
coaches. Those are some dogs. You got Karam Ali among the guys that are up and coming besides Caden Ellis. And that's another really super good gym. And people who don't know it, how many people we reached out to compete against you, like the declines or we're not interested, at the amateur level, like if you look at the Northeast list, we went through all of them. There was one top ranked fighter that we reached out to and said to us, oh, basically they wanted the fight, but their management allegedly wouldn't allow them to take the fight. And I'm trying to get this fight, but to me it seems like they don't want it. So Caden is one of the very few that and his team with Justin Walker and Redemption MMA that were willing to take this bout. Win or lose for Caden, this is a great test, a great experience. And I personally, based on personal conversations we've had, that I think whatever you do next, or if you have one more, you have two more. This is kind of the passing of the torch because you're almost ready for that next level and to be
Yeah.
dominant because, going out of that Tim Fargo fight, there were people in the crowd saying, the things that you did to Tim Fargo, who was the number one ranked Northeast amateur 135-pound fighter. They don't see anybody do that to him in the gym, or they can't do that to him in the gym, but you did. What
Yeah.
does that make you feel?
Well, first I want to talk about the passing the torch of it. I think, Kaiden is going to he's super young. He's talented, and he's on a trajectory that he's going to do very well in life with whatever he chooses to do, whether that be college. I know he's wrestling in college. That's great for him. That's something
Yep.
I've never done before. I applaud him for that. He's going to have a ton of fun. I've been around the college wrestling for a bit, but I do think it's like a passing the torch moment, like you say. I've had a name and a record for a while now. Regardless of the outcome, it's he's gonna do very well in his life, regardless of what path he chooses. So I'm excited to watch, kind of that unfold. After we get finished the fight, until then, it's like I gotta take care of my business. But after the fight, it's I have nothing but respect for him and his team. Justin Walker, great guy, great coach. The stuff he does for his team, you don't see a lot of guys doing. So, but yeah, and then you know, to talk about the second point about Tim Fargo, I think that it's it's nice to hear it, but I've already heard it. I talk a lot about manifestation,
Yep.
and I've already played these moments in my head. It's nothing new to me. This stuff is nothing new. I was before the fight, I was having dreams for months of me getting a picture with 3 belts. And what did I do? Went out, got a picture of 3 belts. I just saw that moment. I saw and heard the moments of people talking about me. Oh, Tim Fargo was the number one guy. How'd Mason Lewis do this? I've already seen this stuff. It's not new to me. Winning is not new to me. The chatter around the community is not new to me. I've already envisioned it. I've already put it in my mind. I've went through those tasks in my head. So when it does happen, it doesn't surprise me. It genuinely does not. But yeah. It's a good feeling, nonetheless. It's a really good feeling.
Yeah. What's your vision for Saturday night? What are your predictions? What are you manifesting for Saturday night?
Saturday night, I'm manifesting a lot of happiness in my life. Obviously, I can sit here and say, like, have I envisioned myself winning? Yes, every single day. I daydream about it. I dream about it. I write about it. I feel like I do all the right things in my life through those areas. What's funny is, like, before I was even at this level, I just kept seeing a 6-1 record, 6-1 record, 6-1 record. I'm 5-1 right now. That 6-1 record is going to show. So I envision myself getting a win, and that is, again, no disrespect to Kaiden Ellis and his team. They're phenomenal people. I know there's been some chatter. Some people think I'm gonna lose. Some people think he's gonna stop me. But I love it. I love it all. But yeah. So I know what's out for me.
What, so after a successful fight on Saturday night, what would be next for you?
Um, I don't know. I think I'm going day by day. I'm so happy with life so far. I feel like, I was for a while I was trying to find fights, and people kept asking me, when are you gonna fight? When are you gonna fight? And I was actively hitting up promoters to, get on their cards, whether that was a 5-hour drive away or not. And we couldn't really find anything. I'm just super fortunate that I have a fight, and I really haven't thought about after this fight yet, because I've been through that where I've thought ahead, and it's gotten me no good but deep places. And I really like to take things, one day at a time. Anything could happen tomorrow. Now I'm gonna knock on wood. Tomorrow I could snap my leg in half, and then I'm done fighting for good. I don't know tomorrow holds. But I'm just really enjoying being very happy in my life. I've got a good support system, great teammates, great coaches. You know, I've got it all. So I just want to keep the happiness. I really, you know, win or lose, I want to keep just stay happy. You know.
Yeah, absolutely. So on the same night that you're fighting, UFC 305 is taking place. Drixus Duplessis, current middleweight champion, versus the former champion in a grudge match against Israel Adesanya. Who do you got in that fight and how?
Yeah. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I forgot they were even fighting. I didn't even know. Like, I haven't been keeping up with it. I just don't really keep up with sports much. Even though it's the sport I compete in, I don't really. I don't know. It's crazy, but I don't care.
That's fair.
You know,
That's fair. So you're not watching the Dana White's Contender Series. We're filming this on a Tuesday. We were talking offline. I want to talk, but you're not watching that either, right?
no, I don't watch that stuff. I've been really liking Rick and Morty lately. You know, late at night I'll throw on Rick and Morty. But I don't like to watch sports. I don't like to build because the only time I really get to watch TV is like later in the day, and I don't like to build adrenaline late at night. Especially example, I'm going to fight, so I don't want to be building adrenaline at night. It just keeps me up. I can't sleep. I can't do anything. You know, I really don't even think about my own fight at all until like I'm working out. I don't like to take my work home with me, you know. When I'm fighting, that's when I'm thinking about this stuff. That's when I'm daydreaming about it. That's when I'm running. That's my meditation. My running is my meditation. I'll go run for 8 to 12 miles and I'll just be visualizing the entire time. I'll visualize multiple different ways I get the job done. And that kind of does it for me. I write down in my journal and then but yeah, I I don't like to, especially late at night, because your sleep is super important for your training and recovery. You know, you need good sleep. So building that adrenaline at night for me, it just keeps me up. You know, during the day, I build up so much adrenaline, you know, when I'm working out and running. I get shaky, I get nervous, I get anxious, I get excited, I get every emotion possible just because I put myself in that. I envision that walkout, I envision the cage locking, I envision me standing right across from my opponent, and you build adrenaline. You just get it, it feels super real. So that those are the times that I do it. But other than that, you know, I don't really watch sports. It's boring.
Unless you're doing it right, you're one of those guys
Yeah,
that
yeah,
want to be doing it. Like, yeah,
yeah,
I'm with
yeah.
you on that. So I totally get that. So at Brojo MMA, who's the name that we should watch out for over the next 6 to 12 months?
So many that you guys have no idea. Every gym says this. Every gym says this. But you guys have no clue how many absolute animals are at our gym. We've got Marshall Morris, you know, we've got Jackson Angle, and he just fought on the last FCP card. And he's a striker, and look what
Oh
he
yeah,
had a
yeah,
great
yeah,
grappling
yep,
performance. You
yep.
know,
I
people know
remember
who
him.
Jackson is, you
Yep,
know.
I know who he is. I think we tried getting him for this card,
Yeah.
and he was
He,
unavailable.
yeah, he was on vacation. But you know, we've got Nate Smith, we've got Austin Rich Creek, we've got Hayden Truax, we've got Richie Martinez. He's a pro. Um, we've got so many good guys. Zach Randall's fighting. There's so many good guys. Aaron Kelchner. Like, you guys have no idea how many good fighters we have at our gym. And you guys don't know because they haven't really fought yet. They've been just training, working, grinding in the gym every single day. These guys aren't taking, you know, a month seriously and taking 6 months off. No, these guys are in every day, year round, getting good at fighting, and it's paying off. You guys are gonna see Brojo on top of everything. And I know so many gyms say this, but the Broja guys are seriously coming up. We're coming up. We're coming.
Yeah. Now, are all these guys, because you're in the southern tier, right? In New York, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So are these guys all coming from that pocket and it just the stars all align, or are they coming from all over to Brojo? Because you, Zach, Austin, you guys all have something going on over there.
So we've got a few group of guys that are you know, from Cortland, Homer area.
Mhm.
Then we've got some guys that are like near like Auburn area. We've got some guys near Binghamton area. And, you know, it proves when guys are driving an hour every day to practice and then an hour back, and they're doing it twice a day. And then there's guys that are moving here to train. So, I mean,
I didn't know that.
yeah, you know, we've got we've got the results to back it. So you guys will see it in the near future. These guys are all starting to get ready to be fighters and killers, and it's, you know, a lot of the guys are super young too, like 20, 21, 19, like my age guys, and they're, you know, I can't express enough how many good fighters we have at our gym. We don't have just one or two good guys and then the rest are, you know, your average guys who come train. No, all of the guys that go to our gym know how to fight. It's not, oh, I'm good at jujitsu, but I can't strike for crap and I can't wrestle for crap. No, it's, I'm something like me. I'm very good. I'd say I'm very good at wrestling.
You're okay.
And then, yeah, I'm okay. I'd say I'm okay at
You're all
wrestling.
right.
And then I'm pretty well rounded everywhere else. You guys
Average.
just haven't seen it. Yeah, right. So no, all these guys are well-rounded fighters, and it's not like any other gym where you have guys that are just good strikers, not good grapplers, not good strikers. No, it's everywhere.
Yeah, and let's leave it at that. You know, you can get your tickets at rosterfights.com to see Mason's last fight. If you want to support Mason, you can message him on Instagram. You get tickets directly through him, which definitely benefit him. He gets a little bit of something to help with training. But the again, this is a massive fight, potentially passing of the torch because you know, Mason's taking it day by day, depending on if he's going to stay AMI or he's going to go pro. In my personal opinion, he's ready. So if you can see him in the amateur cage 1, 2, 3 more times, you know, the only sure thing is this Saturday night at the Attica Takedown 2, Mason the Tickler Lewis against you know, Kaiden Ellis, who's going to Elmira College for wrestling. It's going to be a straight up dog fight. It's going to be a great fight. So anybody who thinks that it's going to be smashed, like, we just don't like feed Mason opponents. This is a high level fight between two guys who can absolutely scrap. One of the bigger fights in the area. You know, Kaiden is a rising hungry dog, and you know, Mason is the wily vet. Again, fights start at 3:30 in Attica, New York, at the Veterans Memorial Park. Maybe the last time we see Mason in the amateur ranks, but you guys are on for a show. He's got 2 or 3 teammates that are also competing, and there is 3 title fights. There's a #1 contenders female fight between 2 absolute stud female fighters, and Isabella Puzo, I butcher her name, and Amanda Bastard. That's another one to be on the watch out for. But Mason, I truly appreciate the time. You're looking huge right now as well. I look forward to seeing you at weigh-ins on Friday night at Louis. And I also look forward to seeing you at the Attica Takedown too. I truly appreciate the time. Just sit tight, okay?
Yep.